Welcome to Tech Bytes and News, your personal generative AI podcast. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of choice-based game design patterns. Think, choose your own adventure, but way more sophisticated. It's surprisingly complex.
Ooh, I love choose your own adventures. But I always thought they were pretty simple. What makes them so complex?
Well, it's not just about the choices themselves, it's about the overall structure of the game. The article we're discussing outlines several key patterns. First up, the time cave. Imagine a massive branching network, like a sprawling underground cavern. Each path is unique, offering a ton of different endings. Think Edward Packard's early works. Pure chaotic fun.
So basically, maximum freedom, minimal structure. Sounds exhilarating, but also slightly overwhelming. Like a really complex maze.
Exactly. Then there's the gauntlet. This is more linear, a single path with deadly side branches. It's like navigating a treacherous obstacle course. Failure often means death or restarting. Think Zork. High stakes, no messing about.
A bit more focused than the time cave, huh? Sounds intense. What about the branch and bottleneck pattern?
That one's a bit like a river branching out then merging back together. Choices matter, but they eventually converge. It's a way to build complex character development. Games like Long Live the Queen use this. You make choices that accumulate over time, shaping your character's destiny.
I see. So it's about long-term consequences, unlike the immediate feedback of the gauntlet. Interesting. What other patterns are there?
There's the quest pattern. This one's all about exploration and focused journeys like the old fighting fantasy books. It's modular, with little story chunks. Think of it as a series of linked adventures.
Got it. So geography dictates the structure, unlike the time-based ones we discussed earlier. What about the open map pattern?
That's basically a free-roaming world where you can go anywhere and do anything. It's like a classic parser-based game, slower paced, but with greater freedom of exploration. It needs a lot of state tracking to keep track of everything.
Sounds like a lot of work for the developers, but a lot of fun for the players. And what about the sorting hat pattern?
Yes, the sorting hat. It's a branching structure that eventually funnels you into one of several linear paths. It's a compromise between breadth and depth. Think Katawa Shoujo. Lots of early choices that determine your overall path.
Makes sense. It's like a funnel, narrowing down the possibilities. And finally, the floating modules and loop and grow patterns.
Right. Floating modules are completely independent encounters, linked by state, no overarching plot. Think of it as a collection of short stories that you can access based on your progress. It's hard to pull off well. Loop and grow is more structured, with a central loop that unlocks new options each time around.
So it's like a game that constantly evolves based on your choices? That's really clever. This is way more intricate than I imagined.
Absolutely. These patterns provide a framework for understanding the incredible complexity behind seemingly simple choice-based games. It's a whole field of design in itself. Thanks for listening to Tech Bytes and News. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.